Every year, TV fans argue over which OLED is really the best: LG, Samsung, Sony, or Panasonic. Well, we ran the numbers, and the debate might finally be settled. Here are the top three OLEDs of 2025 according to the CE Critic Score. Hey everyone, welcome back to CE Critic, where we aggregate the entire industry's perspective to give you a more complete and trustworthy pictures. Now, when it comes to picking the best OLEDs, you've probably seen all kinds of shootouts and best of lists. But here's the thing: most of those reflect one person's taste, one calibration setup, or even one retail environment, and it can become an echo chamber. That's exactly why the CE Critic Score exists. Instead of relying on one reviewer's opinion, we aggregate reviews and insights from professional calibrators, top reviewers, and home theater experts from around the world, all weighted through a proprietary scoring system. So today we're going to break down the top three OLEDs of 2025 according to the CE Critic scores, and I'll share a few honorable mentions that came very close. I think you will be very surprised at what TV makes the number one spot here. And let me just quickly say, don't forget to hit subscribe button and turn on notifications because we've got a lot more CE Critic rankings and deep dives coming your way. All right, let's dive in, starting with the number three position. The LG G5 OLED EVO takes the third spot with a 93% CE Critic score. LG continues to be the OLED brand most people recognize, and the G5 OLED EVO proves why. This year, LG's flagship brought a big leap in both brightness and processing, and that's thanks to the new tandem OLED panel with a four-stack structure. Now, this might sound technical, but here's what it means. Instead of relying on optical tricks like last year's MLA layer, the G5 physically stacks multiple light emitting layers, giving you up to 40% more brightness and longer lifespan. Combine that with the new A11 AI processor, faster WebOS 24, and refined tone mapping. The result is one of the most versatile OLEDs on the market. And of course, LG still sets the bar for design. The ultra thin gallery look, flush to the wall, still make it feel like art more than tech. Now, it's not perfect. The built-in speakers can't really compete with Panasonic or Sony's acoustic system, and the price tag at the larger sizes definitely stings. They also had their fair share of issues with software, which seems to be resolved for the moment. But overall, a 93% CE Critic score puts the LG G5 solidly among the top tier performers of 2025, the ideal pick for those who value sleek design and cutting edge brightness. If you own the G5, drop your personal score at cecritic.com. Your feedback actually helps us refine the CE Critic data, which is super helpful. Now for the second best TV of 2025. The runner-up and in second place is the Samsung S90F QD-OLED TV with a 94% CE Critic score. This one surprised a lot of people, including us. Samsung's S90F actually outperformed its own flagship, the S95F, in the CE Critic ranking. Here's why it hit the sweet spot between price, performance, and consistency. Samsung's third gen QD OLED panel continues to shine. Literally, the brilliant brightness, vibrant color volume, and excellent filmmaker mode that's more accurate than ever before. And for gamers, it's a dream setup. You get four HDMI 2.1 ports, full 4K 144Hz support, and FreeSync Premium Pro. So whether you're watching movies or gaming competitively, it keeps up with just about everything you throw at it. Now, yes, Samsung still refuses to include Dolby Vision, which feels like a missed opportunity, and the design, while still premium, isn't quite as thin as the S95F. But with a 94% CE Critic score, the S90F proves that sometimes balance wins the day. This OLED is perfect for people who want near flagship performance without paying that flagship price. Let me know if you're eyeing the S90F. I'd love to hear if whether Dolby Vision is a deal breaker for you. Now, before I get to the number one, I wanted to shout out a few honorable mentions. The first honorable mention is the LG C5 OLED EVO with a 92% CE Critic score. It is the value king. You're getting a Gen 8 Alpha 9 AI processor with great color volume and brightness, close to the G5's performance, just at a more affordable price. The next honorable mention is the Samsung S95F with a 92% CE Critic Score. Technically the flagship OLED from Samsung, but the S90F's better consistency and lower price actually helped it edge out its big brother. The final honorable mention, and this may come as a big surprise to some of you, is the Sony Bravia 8 Mark II QD-OLED TV. It has a 90% CE Critic Score. Sony's always a master of motion and upscaling. Its cognitive XR processor still delivers the cinematic magic, and the image is absolutely fantastic. In fact, this TV will probably be at the top of many folks' best of 2025 OLED TV list, but slower interface, limited size option, and higher cost held it back this year when it comes to the CE Critic Score. So yeah, the 2025 OLED field is really stacked. All right, time for the number one OLED of 2025. The winner is the Panasonic Z95B OLED TV with a 95% CE Critic Score. This year's OLED champion is one you probably won't see at your local retailer, but it deserves the top spot. The Panasonic Z95B takes everything the company's been refining for years: reference grade color accuracy, elite HDR tone mapping, and that signature Technics tuned audio system, and puts it all into a cinematic masterpiece. Out of the box, reviewers describe the color as studio perfect. We're talking about calibration level accuracy without even touching a single setting. Its HDR performance is stellar with support for Dolby Vision IQ, HDR10 Plus, and HLG Photo. And unlike many other TVs that rely on aggressive tone mapping, Panasonic's approach looks natural and filmic, the kind of image that makes you forget you're watching a TV. The only real downside here is Panasonic's limited North American availability. So unless you're in Europe or Japan, getting one of these isn't easy. But for those of you that can, the Z95B represents the pinnacle of OLED craftsmanship. That's why it's sitting at the top of the 2025 leaderboard with a 95% CE Critic Score, the highest of any OLED TV this year. Now, if you're wondering how these numbers came together, that's the real difference between the CE Critic Score and everyone else. Most top lists are based off of personal opinion, one sample unit, and one test environment. We aggregate hundreds of data points from professional reviewers, calibrated experts, and technical testers, then normalize the data to create an industry-wide score. So when you see the CE Critic Score, it's just not our opinion. It's a reflection of how the entire review community and technical testers worldwide review the product, design, and value. It's not about hype, it's about consensus. So what did you think? Did your favorite TV make the top 3 list? Or do you think that another TV deserves a higher spot? Leave your review and score at cecritic.com. Seriously, your input helps shape the future of CE Critic scores. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell for more CE Critic ranking, reviews, and deep dives on how the tech industry really works. And remember, at CE Critic, it's not about one reviewer's take, it's every opinion, one score. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.